Shavasana. Yeah, just taking a few moments to settle in, taking a couple of breaths. You can take Shavasana or constructive rest pose, bringing the feet towards the edges of the mat with the knees bent and towards each other. Perfect. Okay. This week we begin a new theme. Our practice for this month is kindness. And the Reiki principle that we are using as a foundation for this is just for today, I will be kind to all living things. Or just for today, I will be kind is okay too. So each week during our practice, I will be inviting you to embody kindness in a new way. And when I think of kindness, I think of how it feels, and it feels to me like sunshine, like warm sunshine. So I'm going to be incorporating the sun into this practice as well. So we are going to be moving through each week a phase of the sun. So this week, in week 1, we're just beginning to invite the light in with the breath and just envisioning that as a soft rise of the sun itself. So when we think of the sun, it always shows up each day, no matter what, with presence, warmth, and steadiness. It rises and it sets, and it doesn't need to be perfect. It doesn't need to be praised. It simply just offers its light. So, like the sun, we can show up each day and offer our light. Be kind to ourselves and to others each day. And we are going to make mistakes along the way. We are going to have moments where we maybe aren't as kind to ourselves or others as we'd like to be. But just like the sun, each day we rise and we can try again. So we're setting a daily intention this month to be kind. To be kind in our thoughts, in our words, and in our actions. Our practice on the mat will be a mirror of our kindness towards ourselves and others. So begin tuning into the breath here. Just taking a moment to notice the breath, its softness, its texture. Each breath, a fresh start, an opportunity to begin again. Even in a moment where we're in a conversation and we notice ourselves maybe leaning towards not being as kind as we could, we can take a breath, a pause, and come back to kindness. We can start again. As you breathe in this space, I'd like you to just imagine, just picturing the sun, just beginning to rise on the horizon. And everything is still, spacious. Notice how the light just begins to touch everything. See if you can let the light just begin to touch the heart. No matter what happened yesterday, what happened earlier today, we are beginning again. This breath, in this moment, you come to your mat. Just for today, I will be kind. And you can begin to roll over on to one side. And we'll come into child's pose when you're ready. My intention for the flow of this practice today is to somewhat mimic the energy of a sun salutation, even though sun salutations are not a part of yin yoga. So I'm modifying it to fit yin. So see if you can, if you're familiar with sun salutations, feel into that movement of slowly rising from the earth, and then we'll retreat back down to the earth at the end of our practice, even though we'll be seated the whole time. So just keep that in mind. So as you come into a child's pose, reaching the hands towards the front of the mat, and soften the heart towards the earth. And just beginning our practice here, just thinking, where is it within me that I can soften? In my words, my thoughts, or in my movement? Where can I soften today? Your gaze towards the fingertips, and we'll walk the hands back towards the body. And all the way up, we'll move into a melting heart. Bring your bolster. I want this to be a little more supportive. So you can bring your bolster either lengthwise or parallel to the top of your mat, whatever is most comfortable. Take some time to find where that is before you settle in fully. So we'll walk the hands out, keeping the hips and knees in line with each other, and then bringing the heart space towards the earth. So you can rest on the bolster if you like, having a little more support, or you don't have to use the bolster if you don't want to. Totally up to you. Try to soften the arms on the mat and think about lengthening through the front side of the body. So really feeling the opening in the front side of the body. If we were in a sun salutation, this would be the point where we would raise our arms up before taking that forward fold. So we're just thinking of opening the front side of the body here. Slowly walk the arms back and all the way up to a seated position. And bring the legs out long in front of us, finding a half dragonfly or half butterfly, depending on how far out you want to put your legs. Drawing the sole of the right foot to the inside of the left leg. You have the left leg straight out in front, more of a half butterfly. If you want a little more of a stretch on the inner thigh, you can take a half dragonfly by bringing the leg further out. Sitting up nice and tall, lengthening through the crown, walk the hands out and fold over either the middle or over the left leg. Letting the head hang heavy here and the spine round. This is where we would be doing a forward fold in our sun salutation. And as you pause here in this fold, turning your gaze inward, just notice what is being revealed to you. What's coming forward here? What does the light reveal slowly within you? There's somewhere that you could be more kind to yourself today. Slowly walk the hands back, bring the head up nice and low. We'll take some windshield wiper motions, bringing the hands behind us, knees bend, feet towards the edges of the mat. We're just letting the knees fall side to side. Just releasing the lower back and the hips a little. And then we'll take that same posture on the opposite side, bringing the right leg out long, left knee bends, and sole of the left foot comes to the inside of the right leg. You can use a block for your knee or for your forehead as you fold forward if you haven't already. And taking a moment, lengthening, let the shoulders drop down away from the ears. Really just pause here at the top and root through the sit bones. Take a few breaths, just following the breath from the crown of your head to the base of your spine. A moment to pause and breathe. And on the inhale, we begin again, walking the hands out, turning inward, letting the head hang heavy or come to a block. And this movement between the sides is a movement of reflection. We come to the top, we ground into what we've learned about ourselves and about how we interact with the world around us in kindness or in other ways. And we use that practice off the mat. And then we come back and we turn inwards again and we reflect more. So, taking this time here to really just notice if anything's arising in your inner landscape. We practiced last week, just tending to those needs and those parts of ourselves with kindness and compassion. On your inhale, walk the hands back. We'll move to tabletop, swinging the legs around, bringing the knees under the hips, and wrists under the shoulders, finding cat-cow, dropping the belly on the inhale, gaze comes forward, tailbone rises. Exhale, pressing into the hands, around the spine, tuck the tailbone. Inhale, dropping the belly, heart softens forward, gaze maybe a little higher. Exhale, turning inwards, rounding into cat, tuck the tailbone. And just move through these about a minute or so here. Your own pace, tuning in with your body, moving in a way that feels kind and loving and nourishing here. We'll come back through tabletop, lowering down to the forearms. Bring the legs out along behind you. Belly to the mat, coming into Sphinx pose. You can bring the bolster or a pillow if you're at home underneath for a little more support if you'd like it. Or forearms pressing into the mat. Really think about rising up a little here. This will be like our half lift, or maybe our cobra, but instead we're going to rest here in Sphinx. You can let the head hang heavy here if you like, or come to a block. You can bring the gaze between the hands or close the eyes. Here, just thinking about meeting yourself with softness, the heart softening a little more, and really grounding through your foundation, feeling the legs supporting you here, the hips, just letting them be heavy, tuning into the heart space. Our affirmation for this month is I lead with compassion. I offer kindness to myself and others. I lead with compassion. I offer kindness to myself and others. We'll lower all the way down. Bringing the forearms to the top of the mat. Just resting the forehead for a moment. Just let the spine be long. And bring the hands under the shoulders. Press back. And coming back into tabletop. We'll find a dragon lunge on the right side. As you step the foot forward, do so as gently as possible, as carefully as possible, slowly as possible. See how slow you can get, how intentional you can be as you move forward. And bringing the right foot to the outside of the hands, or coming up on blocks, bringing the blocks to the inside of the right foot. Bring the back leg out, letting the hips sink down a little more towards the earth. Crown reaching, lengthening through the spine. Bring the shoulders away from the ears, creating some space for our neck. Another option here is to come to the pinky edge of the right foot, just letting that knee fall open a little. That feels good to you. Stretching up out the right hip a little more. Exhale, press back, nice and slow. Just stretching through the right leg, pointing the toes towards the front of the mat. And then shifting the weight forward, you can release the blocks, place the hands down on the mat. And again, intentionally taking that step back nice and slow. We'll move to the opposite side. You can take a couple of cat cows here if you'd like. A little pause between. And then we'll move to the left side, slowly tapping or walking the left foot forward, outside of the hand, and then coming up on block, making adjustments as needed, and lowering the hips down, stretching into the left hip or right hip flexor. And again, making those adjustments with the shoulders, softening them away from the ears, lengthening through the crown, and just coming into the breath, thinking about how we can be intentional with our actions, kind with our actions. We can take those small steps towards kindness, even in moments where maybe we're feeling a little activated. Maybe you notice, when is it most difficult to be kind? When is it most difficult to lead with kindness? On your exhale, slowly send the hips back, left toes pointed towards the front of the mat, opening up the back of the leg, little counter stretch. And setting the prop to the side, slowly walking that foot back. And then we'll come to lay down, laying on our back. Just bringing the knees bent, feet hip distance apart. Just taking a couple of windshield wipers here. Press through the soles of the feet to come back through center, lifting the hips and shifting them over to the left. Let the knees fall to the right, finding a supine twist. Arms out to a T, shoulders as much in contact with the mat as possible. Finding where you want your knees to be, if you want them to be closer to the heart space or further down. It changes where you feel this in the spine or in the body. And once you settle in, bringing the gaze over the left fingertip. Using any props as needed. If you'd like a block between the knees or under the bottom leg or both, you can. Once you feel fully supported, just breathing here and really paying attention to the exhale of each breath. Thinking about unwinding anything from your day or from your practice that you'd like to let go of. Move the block, bring the knees back through center, shift the hips back through center and draw the knees in towards the body. Just giving a little rock side to side here before moving to the opposite side. Optional happy baby here if you'd like to take a happy baby, reaching through and grabbing on wherever you can. Bringing the knees towards the earth. A little deeper stretch in the hips. And releasing the grip. Drop the feet back down to the mat. Lift the hips and shift them over to the right. Let the knees fall to the left, maybe come inwards a little. Make adjustments that you need to feel comfortable and supported. Bring the arms out to a T. Gaze comes over the right fingertip. And just come back to that idea of continuing to unwind, to release anything that you'd like to let go of. Letting go of any tension or stress from the body as well. Move your prop, unwind, coming back through center. Just taking any movement that feels good here, windshield wipers or hugging the knees in. And then finding either constructive rest pose or Shavasana again, coming back to where we started, coming back to stillness. Seeing the legs out long, arms at your sides, or having the knees bent and towards each other. Taking a couple of cleansing breaths here in through the nose. Exhaling, sighing out through the mouth. Inhaling, exhaling, letting it go. And then just let the rhythm of your breath flow naturally. And just begin to let go of the practice today. Anything that did or didn't happen as expected. Feeling into the spaciousness that you've created within. See if you can reconnect with the warmth, feeling the warmth of the sun within you, the warmth of kindness within you. Begin to wiggle the fingers and toes, slowly coming back. Taking your time, maybe rolling to one side and pausing. Make our way up to a seated position and our practice. Bringing the hands to the heart space in some way, lengthening through the crown and grounding down through our sit bones, sitting nice and tall. Taking a couple of breaths here of gratitude, reflecting on the kindness that we've showed ourselves today by just coming to our mat, and moving through this practice in any way whatsoever. Gratitude for the breath, for each new opportunity, each breath, starting again. May you walk in loving kindness. May you share the unique gift that is you. May you remember you are loved. Thank you. Thank you.